Welcome, Conan RPG players. Yes, there's a new Conan game, role-playing game. Here it is, and we're getting started. It's just released in the past month. So now I'm coming forth now to give some homebrew for the Conan RPG. And the core rules for the game are already well developed and well established and very well thought through, but they're simplified. So there's a lot of room for homebrew to kind of like open it up. Homebrew is what I do. So let's go ahead and get into this. So why homebrew? First, you want to spice up the games, and homebrew does that. You want to be able to customize the game for how you and your party want to play. Sometimes the core rules don't allow you to do certain things that you want to do, so you have to homebrew it. And also, you want to include more of the Hyborian Age, which is this world of Conan. You want to be able to say, okay, this is some interesting parts. How do I incorporate that into the rule mechanics in order to experience that? And then the idea with that is to develop the stories more so that they really represent the Hyborian experience. And that's the idea, is you want to include parts of a story that the core rules do not include. And you choose and reject homebrew as you want for you and your party. And ultimately, homebrew really does add fun. So what guides homebrew? Well, you want to balance the simplicity, which already exists in the core rules, with some more flavor. You want to be creative and innovative. You want to include what is missing for that immersion, and sometimes the core rules don't always capture that. So homebrew can come in and capture some really interesting parts of a story that actually get you more immersed in the story. Main thing though is you don't want the homebrew to block the story. You want it to enhance the story. So some complexity is needed, but it must be fun and easy to understand. And I do lots and lots of play testing to make it feel just right. Okay, homebrew number one. Okay, this video will present 3 homebrews. So what is the first homebrew that I want to show you? Stamina points to raise physical defense. Now, the core rules do not include the use of stamina points for any type of defense. They're all offensive, like an extra action, or more damage, or increasing your attack. So here's the homebrew. You can use 1 stamina point to raise your PD against an attack, or 2 stamina points to raise your PD plus 2 against an attack. And you can do this after the attack is made. So it just gives you a way of defending yourself, but it's going to cost stamina points. This doesn't break the game. It's very well balanced. And I've actually seen an online game where one of the players asked for something like this. So here it is. You can use it or not use it. It's your choice. Homebrew number 2. All movement in close range is a free action. Now, in the core rules, any movement is an action. It is not good roleplay to actually limit movement. This comes from my years of experience. It is better to see characters moving around. Movement to medium range uses an action, but just the movement in close range is a free action. So more movement gives more drama, and the next slide is going to show you a short video showing you how this free movement in close range actually creates more drama. Right. I just listened to an interview with Matt John where he said he wants drama in combat. All right, let's create some drama. From my years of experience homebrewing, more movement gives more drama. So how can one create more movement in a balanced way to create more drama? Now, there are many ways actually, but one basic and very simple way is to allow movement within close range. Let's go down here to this little scorpion, and to say any movement within this close range is free. It's a free action. Now, in the quick start rules, any movement costs an action. Now, paying an action to move actually limits movement and thus limits drama. See where I'm going with this? So, this little hack of the rules says that it would not cost an action to move in close range. This does not break the game in any way. Movement does not cause damage, but simply enhances action agency. That's the key. Now, if a creature wants to leave close range and go into medium range, that would cost an action. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 scenarios where movement as a free action within close range creates drama without upsetting the balance of a combat. Okay, first scenario. Let's look at this scorpion right here. And it has 2 actions, but only one can be an attack. So we first limit its number of attacks. That's already in the rules. But if it has to pay 2 actions to move to a PC in medium range, it cannot attack. It will waste a turn. If it only moves this far, it is at a disadvantage because the PCs can throw weapons into medium range. So our scorpion here can only move into harm's way and will probably die before it can do an attack. So that's limiting character agency in combat. But now, let's give it a free movement to reach medium range. Now we move it into medium range as its first action. Then its attack is a second action, so it can maintain its action agency in combat. What is the drama? The PCs see that this creature can move fast, so watch out. Alright, now, second scenario. Angus here, right here, has two actions. If a movement costs one action, he can only attack one creature within touch range. This one right here. Now let's allow him to freely move within close range. He can now attack two creatures. Let's see how that happens. So Angus is going to attack this creature right here. And then if he can kill this minion, he can actually have a free movement to come over here into close range and attack this other scorpion that is attacking Hansi. So what is the drama? The drama here is obvious. While Angus attacks the scorpion in front of him, he yells to Hansi that he is coming to help. Hold on, Hansi, I'll be there in a second. He kills the first scorpion and then moves to do the second attack within close range. This is dramatic because he's helping out one of his allies. And that movement creates drama. It creates action. It creates something moving in the battlefield, which really is what you want. And if anybody's watching your stream, they want to see tokens moving. They don't want to see tokens in the same place for like 10, 20 minutes. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, now let's go to the third scenario. Okay, third scenario. Here we have Gudrun right here. Now Gudrun has already killed this one scorpion by throwing an axe. But Gudrun only had one axe. Now it doesn't have an axe. But Gudrun wants to attack this scorpion way out here into medium range and would like the throwing axe. But in the rules now, it would cost an action to move over here and then another action to pull the axe out of the dead body. And that would be the end of the turn. Not very dramatic. Now we allow Gudrun a free action to run over to this dead scorpion on the ground here, use an action to pull the axe from the limp body with sucking noises of slurping blood, then uses the second action to whirl around and throw the bloodied axe at the other scorpion over here in medium range. What is the drama? The drama here is obvious. It's an epic turn in combat. Running over to a dead scorpion, making slurping noises as you pull the axe out, and then whirling around and throwing it. It's epic, and it doesn't upset. It actually enhances action agency in a combat. So this is kind of a result of my years of homebrewing, is to create more movement, to create more action and more drama in the narrative. So looking back at this hack, creating more movement creates more drama and more fun. All right, now we'll move on to homebrew number 3 for this video. This homebrew is going to give more success to a flex die. Right now in the core rules, only the highest result on a flex die gives success. So all the other times it doesn't, you don't feel anything, you don't sense anything, it's just is. So sometimes it takes a while, like if you have a D10, you have to roll it 10 times on average before you really get a result on it. So here's the homebrew. When you roll a 1, it actually gives a +1 to a roll or to the damage. And rolling a 2 gives a +2 to a roll or the damage. And you still have the highest result gives the same benefits as the core rules. You're just adding rolling the 1 and rolling the 2. Now, I have played with this rule a lot in playtesting. It does not break the game in any way. It actually adds like 0.3 to any roll. So it's really significant in a small way. So basically, it's not that significant, but it makes you feel good when you roll the 1 and when you roll the 2. It just doesn't have a powerful effect on the rolls, but it's just something else to spice up the flex die. That's the point here. You can use this homebrew if you like. If not, you don't have to, of course. But believe me, this thing works and it works well. So now to conclude, these 3 little homebrews are simple, add fun and flavor to the game. They do not break the game. They increase immersion in the story. They increase creativity. Now, you can use them if you want at your table. More homebrew to come. This is GM Wisdom Hunter signing out. And remember, whoever has the most fun wins.